Ireland, a land woven of myths, music, and mirth, has long been the muse of poets and storytellers. She's a mysterious place where every stone whispers tales of tradition and laughter echoes from her rolling green hills. Welcome to the Irish Comedy Tour, a brief journey across America with a motley crew of comedians armed with quick wit and a touch of Irish magic, drawn together by their love of life, liquor, and laughter. So, fasten your seatbelts, laddies, and get ready to join our merry band of jesters as they bring the... Why am I just reading this? Why don't I just tell them what this is about? It's the Irish Comedy Tour. There's 4 guys. There's a guitar player. There's a fiddle player. The fiddle player is wearing a leprechaun costume. 2 other idiots. I'm one of them. We're in a minivan. We're not in a tour bus. There's no road manager. There's no tech people. And we're trolling the countryside. Who wrote this? What the fuck? We got cases of beer. We've got bottles of whiskey. We've got cartons of cigarettes. We've got lunch meat from 3 or 4 days ago. We're going to take you behind the scenes of all this mayhem and stupidity so you can see what actually goes on in putting this whole train wreck together. Join us. How's that? You can't script this.
I was unaware of all the work that goes into making a show like this.
The Irish Comedy Tour is built for a stage. It's not built for a comedy club. It's sit-down focus. You can still have the intimacy of a comedy club, but it's a show. There's music, there's comedy. It's not just one thing.
Well, how's it going there, everybody? You're very welcome to this evening's cabaret. I'd like to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to thank you for trouble you've taken this evening to come along here. Mike Malone from LA and Damon Rybert from Nova Scotia, Derek Richards from Detroit, and myself from Dublin and Plain.
We just have such a great relationship and camaraderie, and no one. If you got thin skin and you're on this tour, you better figure shit out. Buy some Kevlar, get a suit of armor, get some chainmail, whatever shit you got to get. But you better toughen up because it's going to get brutal.
Well, you're welcome everyone of you. Special branch are on the run if you're Republican, Democrat, or even Sinn Féin. And when the elections are all over, all we'll all be pushing up clover, because everyone down in the graveyard votes the same. This is your cue, Bosco then. That's be your cue to come in.
The prep for a tour like this it's pretty daunting. Depending how you look at it. I mean, I keep myself pretty organized, but it's lining up the venues, it's lining up the accommodations, transportation, logistics, and all that stuff too. So between that and obviously just producing the show in general, making sure social media is lined up, all the promotional assets are in place too. So it's a lot going on. What do I think my main role on the tour is? I'm a babysitter, is what I am. I'm a babysitter for a bunch of drunks. That's what this comes down to.
1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. Cool. So I'll come out. Let's make that cable not right there. So I don't grab this and pick it up and then yank that and pull it out.
Gotcha.
Where is my emergency pick? My emergency plectrum is probably given to the guitar player last year. That's right. I'm very talented. I don't need a pick. Also, I can't play the guitar. as just a level check.
I've been on the Irish Comedy Tour for, I believe, a little over a decade. I handle the tech needs of the show, basically as a liaison to all the venues. The show loads in very quickly, has very low overhead, which is great for the venues because we're in and out, but that has to be orchestrated in advance so they know exactly what we're doing. There's video, there's audio, there's live music, so it's not just audio for a comedy show. There's musicians which have specific needs, and we're very particular. So there's a lot of setup work that goes behind the scenes. There's lighting. We fly banners. So in an opera house, there's things that fly in. All this has to be orchestrated in advance, down to the little details like, do we need a rug? Because if we tap our foot on stage, it's going to make a huge sound in an opera house. So that's what I do before the show by about a month. And then as we load in the show, and then the green comes on during the show, comes off, and we pack everything up and off to the next city.
If I leave here tomorrow, would you let me shave your gi? 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now. I'm okay with it. Mix a little bit more volume for me, I think.
In one word, he just makes it easy. He's easy to work with. He's a real pro, and because I'm not, so one of us has to be. And he's just easy to work with. Bosco and I have a history. We've been playing together for 20 years. Bosco is Damon, by the way. We've got a history of working together for 20 years. So we just playing together for so long, we know what we're going to do next. You know, we know each other's moves. As, you know, we finish each other's
Sentences.
sentences. So we know the routine. You know, it's just easy. We don't practice. We've never rehearsed together. We just, I'll try this B flat, you know, and off we go. And we just go straight at it live. And that's how good he is, you know. Bosco's a pro. I mean, you know, this is his life. He work when he's not working with us and not doing gigs. He's running a theatre in Maine, so he knows what he's doing. I mean, we have a lot of differences between us. Musically, we're the same. We both like pints of Guinness. Makes us the same. Bosco's classically trained musician. I'm not. I'm a hacker. Bosco is the real thing, you know. I'm not, that's all you're getting from me. I'm not going to go kiss him around.
My favorite response when people ask me what kind of music do I like, or what do I like about music, is, what makes you think I like music? I hate music. I like playing it, but I have to be playing it in order to like playing it. When I'm not playing it, I don't miss it. I'm more or less retired, except for the comedy show. I moved to rural Maine. I'm not making a living playing music there, and I don't miss it. Not one bit. But for, you know, I've been playing for 40 years, 30 of which I've been employed, and it's always been by somebody that wants me to play something for them. And so I've never had a chance to do my own music, and if I did, I'd probably be even more unsuccessful. So, you know, I just do what I do, and I don't miss what I'm not doing.
Now, a lot of people don't know that you're a violin player. Not fiddle. Your violin player is professionally trained. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would call it a fiddle, though.
You do call it a fiddle, okay.
Yeah, it's the same instrument. It's just how you play it. In this context, fiddle is folk
works
music.
better, yes, okay.
Classical would be more violin, but a classical player with $1 million violin might refer to it with slang like, I left my fiddle in the car.
Okay. All right,
Same
well, there
thing.
you go. So how you tell us where you were trained at.
I went to school in Connecticut College. Got a degree in music there.
And you've been playing it ever
I've
since?
been playing. Somebody asked me last night, and I counted the years, and it was 40 years.
Wow. Did you
Wow.
think you were going to wind up in a symphony rather than in a leprechaun suit?
Absolutely not. The last thing I wanted to do was be told what to play, when to play it, how to play it, sit on a stage, and of all things, wear a suit on stage. I hate. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm playing a stereotype that some people don't appreciate. My perspective on it is I don't really have a problem with it. I grew up playing traditional music for dancers, and I have respect for the culture. I grew up doing the artistic side of it, and we're making fun of not just ourselves but everybody, and looking at it from a lighthearted nature.
And
we've been playing together for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Ken and I as well. So we've been, we know
you
each
guys
other
are tight
pretty well.
together. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
They do make an adorable couple, don't they?
They do.
Every once in a while, Tinder matches it up perfectly.
He's blushing. Look.
I like him as a friend.
It's not blushing, that's his blood alcohol level.
That's 99 the whale. That's our local radio station.
So these are all the fucking. The baldy guy looks
They're
like the
human.
fucking piano player from fucking not the Jay Leno show, the fucking Tonight Show with the other cunt. What's his name?
Fallon.
No.
Paul Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer.
Yes.
Yeah. And this looks like the fucking governor of Alaska, the one beside him.
And
Sarah
this is
Sarah Palin, yeah.
this is Nancy Pelosi in sunglasses. Right here. The Wall of Diversity, or as I called it, the White People's Hall of Fame, was at this theater in Johnson City, New York. And what they did is they had all these people that were patrons of the theater. You could buy a space on the wall to have your head painted on there. And there was just a sea of white people. There was literally like two people of color. And then they had a dog and a cat, and I think it was a dolphin. So there was actually more animals and fish than there were Mexicans or Asian people.
Before I get out of here, I will say this: I also have a book for sale in the back. I've read it; it's really good. I'm going to share because so it has like 10 big stories in it, and then in between are like these illustrated jokes. I'm going to share one of them with you that you're going to hate, and because I know how to read an audience, This is just for this side of the room. I don't masturbate in the shower. I don't think it's gross or anything. I just can't get the hose around my neck tight.
During that, because that's got such it's a great opening. Can we get like the movers and stuff going? Hey, hang on. Remember too how you want to wrap up when you come out after me to take a hey, we're gonna take a 15-minute intermission. And we'll stop on the tour in Peekskill, New York. We've been there several times, and it's right there on the Hudson. It's a beautiful old hotel, and West Point's just right down the river. Great, cool, chill, fun hang. The town's different. It's actually the hometown of Mel Gibson and Pee Wee Herman.
I'd like to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to see if you take along to come in here. Damon Liebert from Nova Scotia, Mike Malone from Los Angeles, and Derek Richards from where's he from? The cunt. Derek Richards from Detroit, and myself from Ireland at play.
repeat, and then the end of it, welcome to the cabaret.
Welcome to this evening's cabaret.
1, 2,
4, 1, 2, 3.
the same tempo.
Well, as far as my input in terms of the songs that Derek and Damon play on stage, my whole thing is keep it upbeat, keep it fun, keep it funny, get people clapping, get people, energized and pumped up for the show. Because if you look through the catalog of Irish music, there's a lot of real sad, depressing crap that our people listen to. I mean, it's, some stuff, it's like you get these slow lullabies of these songs, and it's like, oh my God. And again, brilliant music, but just not for this tour. I mean, they get exactly what the goal of the tour is and what their role on the tour is as well. It's like, just turn this place into an Irish pub, make it fun, make it upbeat, get people fired up, and, go for it.
Damon, play a tune on your violin. Damon, won't you play a tune for me? Damon, play a tune on your violin. Play that tune, you fat little motherfucker. Crack cocaine, 2 big hers, but over 2 for me and you. Damon, won't you play a tune for me? I've a pain in my beat.
Yeah, the Flying Monkey in Plymouth, New Hampshire had never been there, had seen some pictures online. We come rolling up to the place. I'm like, all right, this is cool. It's got a cool old funky sign out front, and then we got our name on the marquee, and the guy underneath us, like the S off of his name was kind of askew. And I'm like, all right, this is, you know what? I like a place that's got some character. And then you walk inside and it's hard to describe a vibe in a place, but certain places you go into and they seem very corporate. Like if you're going to go to get a hamburger someplace, are you going to go in a McDonald's that's very corporate, or do you find that great little funky, cool local joint that everybody talks about and goes there? And that's what the Flying Monkey was. That reminded me of that to me was like a cool, fun, local restaurant that had its own energy and its own vibe to it that I think is really hard to replicate in a lot of today's corporate spaces.
You guys are awesome. You guys have a great sense of humor. And I'll tell you, New York people have a great sense of humor. You're fantastic people, and I love the New York people. Hate your fucking football teams, but I love the city. I love everything about it. No, we're not in New York. That's because we're in New Hampshire. Now, I meant to say New Hampshire needs a football team. And a fucking coastline. But this size.
He's up there having a killer set. Him and Damon are up there just rocking. And so he leans into the mic and he goes, New York, you guys are fantastic. And I remember being backstage with the other comedian on the tour, Michael Malone. And we were in the back and we're looking at each other. And our fiddle player, Damon, leans into to Keno and he goes, yeah, we're in New Hampshire.
Thank you, Damon, for reminding me we went to New York. And this is why we don't drink before the show. Nebraska, you're fucking awesome. I love you all dearly.
It's funny. I mean, stuff like that, you can't, it's a fun, funny, honest, goofy thing that happened. But it's just so real and so fun, and the way they recovered from it. and the way the audience responded was just so much fun.
That was a great gig. Good people. Yeah, great. New York is always a good time, you know, especially when it's in New Hampshire.
Boston crowds, we've been going to that city for so many years and have done so many shows over there. And it's depending on where you are at in Boston and where you're doing the show. Like, we had been at the Wilbur Theater, and that is just such a fantastic venue. I mean, just the acoustics in there, the energy of the people that came out to see the show. City Winery is a much more intimate feel. It's a smaller room. It holds just under 300, so it has a much more comedy club feel to it. So it's just brings a little bit of a different energy to the show from what we've had in the past in Boston. But the Boston people just come out to have fun. The Boston Irish community is just an absolute riot.
I love it when the Irish. I love it when everybody laughs at the show. I love when the Irish Americans laugh at the show. And anybody laughing, I don't care where you're from. If you're laughing, you're enjoying the show. But when Irish people off the boat Ireland laugh at the show, then I know we've got it right. You know, when people from Ireland laugh at the show, because you can't beat Irish comedy. And when Irish people laugh at a show, giddythefuckup.com.
Now you've got a comedy show, and we have these Irish dancers that come out and do, a couple of tunes, one, early on in the show and then one halfway through. So it just makes for something. It just brings out more of our Irish heritage to the show, having something so signature as Irish step dancers, come out there and perform.
Brings a whole other dimension to the show. It becomes a variety show. It's not just, as I always say, it's not just two comics on stage telling jokes. With the music, with Damon and myself. And I wish we could use the dancers all the time, because it becomes a little production, a little, variety thing where we get dancers and we got a couple of funny comics. We got a couple of comics, and we have a bit of music. And Irish music, and it just works.
All the way from the Sperrell School of Irish Dancing, Bridget, Ashley, and Dave. Give them a bit of love. Come on!
It's usually surprising when, at the end of the show, the Irish come up and say, fucking loved it. You know, it's not necessarily the first thing we'd expect. Keno, being from Ireland, Dublin, is also sensitive to this. So it's interesting to see his reaction, because he also fears the same thing, and it's usually great. I don't think we've ever, by my recollection, had somebody not like the show that was Irish.
I'm not going to lie to you people, we're all friends, I'll be honest. Fine, through the years, okay, maybe I've had my dick in a number of questionable situations. But to be completely honest, I have had sex with things you wouldn't put in chili. I wish I had a camera for the look on your face. Nice lady right up front just going. In the meantime, the rest of you are literally thinking of things you would not put in chili. And cross-reference it with one of my bad decisions.
She scurries off, and here's how I know that I was a good boyfriend, okay? Here's how I know that I loved her. She grabs a Starbucks cup, she gets in the back seat, I stay in the front seat, and I'm on lookout. By the way, whatever cup you grab is not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be, you could grab a gallon jug, it's not enough. Unless you go to the doctor and they give you a little half-inch cup, that's way too much. That's way too much. You get 3 drops in there, you're like, can you run that? Can you test it? I'm dying, I know it. I always do a blind handoff. I'm always like, hey, topped it off for you. You know, I feel like I keep it moving, dude. Some guy in the waiting room's like, I don't even work here. That's piss. That guy handed me piss, for sure.
We had a bunch of my smelly Irish friends, as I like to call them, came out to the gig in Boston, and they were raving about it. They thought it the funniest. They loved the dancers. They loved the comics. They loved the fact that the comedians were brutally honest, and they didn't hold back, and they just fucking told it as it was. You know, they were like, fuck, you know, fuck it. If you don't like it, fuck off. There's the door. And they were so, and they love that, and they appreciate that. When I can make people from my own country laugh, or when we can make people from my country laugh, Americans have a great sense of humour and they laugh, but when I can make Irish people laugh, off the boat immigrants like myself, that fucking just, I'm sorry, I have an erection. You know, I mean, it's just that just thrills me when I can make people from my own country laugh, because they are fussy, funny fuckers to try and please. Sure it comes. I mean, you just can't please. But when they do that, I'm just a bit emotional right now. It was good. It was good. It was very good.
Hello, everybody out there in TV land. This is my wardrobe. I do about 3 changes an evening, but I like to have a backup in case I spill something, which has happened before. So I like to have a choice. Obviously, I've got my selection of shoes down here, shirts, and vest jeans for the show. And I have extra underwear and stuff in the bag in case accidents happen. This, of course, is my favourite. This one is Louis Copeland. And the rest are JCPenney and Walmart.
Oh, that building was amazing. That was an amazing place. Never seen anything like it. Way up in the mountains. It was beautiful. Great crowd. Yeah, I don't know. It was a great venue. You know, we had a great gig there. Everyone loved it. The hospitality was fabulous, and people were dancing in the aisles.
If I were to have an intermittent, it would be here.
2, hey, hey, 1, 2, 2, 2, hey, hey.
Yeah, it was like a ski resort and met old McDonald's barn. It was just huge. It was like it was almost like a big missile silo, but it was neat. It was cool. Big, thick wooden beams around the whole place, and just a cool energy. It did kind of look like a ski resort. It was a great spot, fun place to hang out. Great people.
A theater like that, when you roll up to it, it's almost overwhelming because a lot of like big rock bands play there, like ZZ Top and Cheap Trick and Amish, Raymond the Amish comic, I believe is his name, which was such a, I didn't even know that was a thing. But it's like this big amphitheater space in this small little town. It's even up on a hill like Whoville, you know what I mean? Like we go up this winding mountain road and then it just oversees the entire town. I mean, you can see for miles and miles from it. It's overwhelming. There's no other way to put it. It's crazy. But they couldn't have been a better crowd. They all came out. That space really fills up, and that energy just takes over that room, and it feels like you're playing a small little comedy club. That energy just bounces off those wooden beams that maybe Raymond the Amish comic helped put up. But it was surreal to see such a big space like that operate and feel like a small space. And you could really, I did crowd work that night. There's little balcony seatings and everything like that. I mean, it's just a beautiful venue, and for it to be that massive and that overwhelming, to feel that energy and that welcoming was pretty surreal.
You guys are fun. It's good to be here. I've always wanted to perform on Noah's Ark. This is beautiful. Did we get 2 of every animal yet, or are we still... I rolled my pants for the flood. I've already rolled my pants. No, this is a great town. This is a beautiful town. I can't wait till you to finish it. It's going to be nice. It's a small town. Your crime has to be hilarious here. It has to just be so easy. It's like, Tim did it. Thanks, we'll go get Tim. You're in a small town and you ask for directions and they're like, over there. Like, where's the theater? It's over there. Okay. And then you drive and you're like, fuck, there it is. Yeah.
It's no, they never look. No, they never know more. But I play the white rover. Don't never no more. I've been a white rover for many easy years. And I spent all my money on hookers and beer. And now I'm returning with golden grey store.
Remember where it was?
Why would I? Newton Theater, Newton, New Jersey. I think Jersey Irish people have problems in a good way. No, it was so much fun. The energy, the enthusiasm, just the attitude. It was the perfect intersection of Jersey, the Jersey people that just don't give a shit what you say, and the fact that they were Irish, and just the collision of those two worlds coming together, and then packing that theater. It was like 600 people at the place. Cool, old funky theater downtown, and it was just electric. I mean, the audience could not have been nicer, and just a huge diverse range of people. We had just this lady, I think it was probably 90 years old, sitting right up in the front row. And then, 26-year-olds sitting right next to her, getting completely lit up. And I mean, she was probably lit up too. I mean, probably if you would have dumped her purse, there would have been a bunch of pills in there, different medications, uppers, downers, Viagra, in case she met somebody that night. Who knows?
I am single. We have other single people here? Yes? No? Single people? Where you at? Wow, okay. those who can't see it, it's somebody's Nana is up here. Just waving down dick. Over here. Got some candy in my purse. Come here. I'll fucking take my teeth out. Don't fuck with me.
Mike Malone actually said she was single. Mike was asking, "Oh, who's single?" And she raises her hand, and then Mike at the end of the show comes down. Well, we threw beads out at the crowd, and they put a couple beads on her, and then he comes down and he started doing a Magic Mike sort of twerking move, like right in front of her. She was right in the front row, and I was standing right above it. And God bless her, she just leans forward and just starts smacking his ass. I'm like, all right, this is going to go down. We should record this in Mike's room later. Yeah, it was neat to see a lot of people from the show in Newton, New Jersey come out to the Irish pub. I think it was O'Reilly's Pub in Newton. And we come walking in, and there was a bunch of people at the table, at this one big table, and they started clapping. And it was just a fun energy to have these people that were, and again, a lot of folks that were off the boat from Ireland that now live in New Jersey that came to the show, had an absolute blast. You know, and then watching Mike Malone just scan the room, waiting for that 90-year-old hot piece to come rolling in and make the magic happen that night. That to me is what made the evening the most fun. That she stood up Mike Malone, that she did not come to the pub that night. Derek Keane is our health nut guitar player, and he's trying to get ice for the beer. And the best way to describe Kino is like a Korean War era tank that's still running. No one can understand why it's still running, but it's still running.
You know, it's funny you should remind me of that, Michael, because it's a little song I put together some years back. It goes a little bit like this. Hungry eyes, feel the magic in your eyes. I got hungry eyes. I do.
Can you describe what it's like working with Kino?
Can I describe what it's like working with Kino? Well, you used the right word. It's work. His dietary needs are very complicated. Frequent stops to various types of establishments to keep him alive. He's complicated, but everything is, pretty natural to him. It's the unnatural things, such as his diet and habits, that are the complicated thing. And work is the right word. I'm still surprised he's not with the show, but just that he's alive.
One, two, check. Mary's got a new job, she's working in the bank, making lots of money and giving it to Frank. Frank is Mary's boyfriend, been that way for years. Kicked him in the face, said she loved me, oh Mary. Why don't you have some sense? Please do something to restore my confidence.
I think the question of how do we work on new material could be simply answered as we don't. I'm kidding. There is new material. Sometimes Keno will make stuff up on stage, modifying a melody so it's based on something that would be somewhat familiar, but it's new, and then create lyrics in the spot. So basically, composing something on stage. We worked in a band together for almost 20 years, so it's pretty easy for us to not have to rehearse. The stuff that we used to do musically is a pretty vast repertoire, so he can pull stuff out. If there's a moment in the show that calls for something, we could do something that we've never done with the show before. It could be something that's never been done before. But the rehearsing part usually has to do with changes in the show. If somebody says all of a sudden we need an intermission, we have to talk about how we're going to set up, bringing people on and off stage with music, how it works with a venue that might introduce us versus not introduce us. That's more the rehearsing part. We have the dancers on the show. We do run through the pieces just so that they have music and can actually dance on the floors, vary from venue to venue. So we always do, run through that, but we don't rehearse for each show unless we're trying new material. Some of the material has a little bit of a gimmick to it, and so we'll test stuff out. Like if I'm jumping off of something while I'm playing, I'll probably try it once to make sure I'm not going to break my leg, or if it's impossible to play, we'll do it. But yeah, rehearsing, I wouldn't use that word.
We bring out these young ladies one more time. The Feral School of Irish Dance, New York, Bridge Nursing and Dale. Come on up, young ladies. Nice job, ladies. Bridge Nursing Day. Well done. They're very talented and they're very pretty.
Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin was, well, first off, we rolled in a day early, and we ended up doing a little dive bar pub crawl, which it literally, in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, you can literally go into a bar and find another bar in that bar. I've never seen anything like it. Wisconsin is a whole different level of alcoholic. It's insane.
Okay. All right. So park on the side on the on the. Okay, sounds good. All right, heading over there. All right. Hop in, cowboy. All right, right over on the side. He'll never make that walk. March. Snowing. Wisconsin. Love you, Dairyland. Knuckleheads. And this amazing weather.
It's my job to make sure that the boys have a good time and get home safely, which is why I prefer to spend time with my other friends, which have 4 legs and know how to drink.
Yeah, we had a few bars, met a few people who talked a lot. And there was a dog in the bar who drank beer. The dog was drinking beer. And we hung out with him. We found him very good company.
I mean, it was literally one bar where like this golden lab like hops up on my lap and starts drinking Damon's beer. It was so surreal, but it was funny. I mean, the people couldn't be nicer. It was great.
We got pictures of him sitting on everybody's lap. Don't even know the dog's name. Don't remember his name.
What's the dog's name? Anyway, Lacey. Yeah, I'll miss Lacey.
It was great fun. You know, it was great crack. Great crack. Fucking brilliant.
I enjoy traveling to different parts of the country. There are a few parts that resonate with me because they're like where I live. I've chosen to live in Maine, and I love it. Love the people. It's in some ways a little bit like Ireland. You have small towns. People come together to go to the center of the town and meet other people. There's community, there's culture. It's working class people mixed with other people, tourists, people that have lots of money, people that have no money. And that's no exception in the Midwest. They also know how to drink.
1, 2, check 1, 2. And it's no. Take it down a bit. Okay. And it's no May never, no May never no more. Will I play the world over? The lonely heart no more.
You know, we're in a Catholic school. It was an old Catholic school. And it's snowing like crazy. I mean, just the worst weather. And I'm like, this is like a Stephen King novel setting where we're at. Because we pull into this big, ominous old school. And we had to go up this freight elevator to get to where the stage was at. And it was a cool room. It was a funky vibe in there. It was a Catholic school, so it had the arched windows inside. It was all wood. Fun crowd, fun show. But then what was hilarious was downstairs in the basement, there was a group of people. They were they were practicing.
Sorry. I can see you. Just got the bone of your hair, John. I'm sorry.
This makes the reel. This makes the highlight reel. There is no doubt. We cannot not have that sexy show up in this. That is absolutely beautiful. That's the best part of this discussion right here. Listen, if you could describe Chippewa Falls in a human, that was it. What just walked in here and walked out was Chippewa Falls.
You know, your cue for the house announcements is when you see the logo on the screen, and obviously the pre-show loop has stopped playing.
Gotcha.
Well, the other mission is basically Finnegan's Wake, and then it's the mission.
Tunes on Finnegan's.
Yeah, what mission?
No, we do the G tunes getting on, and then we just do intermission. The reason we did that other stuff is because the rolls were
okay. So when we go back on, we
play on, just the tune, and then intermission. Then when we come back, I'll play
GDT.
You don't want to do Finnegan's Wake and then come back on, and you couldn't come at a better time with the chance makes the show longer.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I mean they'll make it too long.
Right, or if we get a little bit extra, but that's okay.
And then
all right. So just the tunes and we're off, and then back on after the intermission. Choose of Finnegan's Wake. TAA.
Yeah, that's right.
How are you?
Wisconsin, you good? Oh, shit, okay. I do like this side of the room. We're here. Okay, we're home. Fair enough.
Not that old.
At least you're honest. That's what I want to hear. I'm done laughing in life. I like coming here to Wisconsin. I've been here a bunch. I will say that your weather has Tourette's. I don't know if you know that. It's hot and it's cold. It's hot and it's cold. It's snowing. I'm on a boat. What the fuck is happening? I never know what to pack when I'm here. I'm bringing like winter coats and swim trunks. People are like, where are you going? Like Narnia. I don't know. It hasn't decided yet. I'm actually mixed. My mother was white and my father was an alcoholic. So that makes me Irish. Family actually, they told me we were Native American my whole life, my whole childhood. We were a proud Native American family. And then when 23V came out, I took the test, and you want to guess what percentage Native American I am? Zero fucking percent. I'm 97% Irish. 97%, yeah. 3% African American. 3%, which is roughly 8 inches. 8 inches.
Being that it was a Catholic school, it was, I guess I kind of blocked that out. It didn't really even register in my head. I'm like, you know what? I go, what happened here before has not, there might have been communion served here before, or they talked about what communion was, but I had zero issue about saying anything that I said up on stage.
I had to go through chemotherapy to get better. One of the first things they tell you when you go through chemo is that you may lose your hair. I'm like, all right, if that happens, I'm going to go to my haircut lady in order for years, just get it all shaved off. I'm not going to mess with it. So like clockwork, treatment 2, hair starts falling out. I'm like, nope. Go to the salon, see the stylist. I'm sitting there, I'm in the chair, we're talking, got my head in the sink, and she's washing, and she goes, this is weird. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, nothing. Then it dawns on me, my hair's falling out. And I forgot to tell her why I was there. And I'm kind of a dick. So I'm like, screw it, let's just let the joke play out. So she keeps washing and we're talking and she goes, I just don't understand. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, it'll be fine. Then finally she steps back and she goes, oh, this is bad. I go, what? Swear to God. She goes, I think I used the wrong conditioner. I get up, I look at the sink, I'm like, the hell is wrong with you? I'm in my friend's wedding on Saturday. She goes, I'm so sorry. I go, nah, it's cool, cancer, chemotherapy, hair's falling out. She looks at me and goes, oh, thank God, I thought I fucked up.
You know, Jesus, you had this building before, and now you're out. And tonight, that was our building. And we had it. Janesville, Wisconsin, the Janesville Performing Arts Center was an old school. Again, another school. So, I mean, it's like, which is surprising because, to be honest, I can't believe that Derek King is allowed within 50 yards of a school.
In Wisconsin, there were several venues that were repurposed prisons or schools or something like that. There were lockers or jail cells or something. And it had a lot of character.
That was a great theatre, yeah. And again, you open the doors into this theatre and you think you're opening the doors into a room or a hall. But this place was amazing. Whoa.
You don't know what you're getting into when you pop into these places. All the shows on the run through Wisconsin and Minnesota were all brand new venues for us. So I had no clue. And when you see the pictures online, you have no idea what you're getting into. But, all these places that, find old buildings and repurpose them to make them suitable for Performing Arts Center, yeah, God bless them. And, the crowd that was in there, it was packed. They couldn't have been any more politically incorrect. Some guy came out dressed like a leprechaun for the thing. I'll go to a Kiss concert. I'm not dressing up like Gene Simmons. How can you plan for bad weather? Growing up in the Midwest, anybody that grows up there, Midwest or the Northeast, you know that weather is a disaster at any given time. And around St. Patrick's Day, I would like to petition Ireland to move St. Patrick's Day to, I don't know, maybe the middle of June. The weather can be fantastic. The weather can suck. You don't know if there's going to be accidents. You don't know how many times our guitar players are going to have to stop for cigarette breaks, whether or not he shit his pants. There's a lot of things that go into the matrix of creating the schedule of when we leave. My first reaction always is let's leave as early as we can be comfortable with waking up and getting out, getting in the van, taking off, and getting on the road.
The Irish Comedy Tour is built for a stage. It's not built for a comedy club. It's sit-down focus. You can still have the intimacy of a comedy club, but it's a show. There's music, there's comedy. It's not just one thing. So it works best when it's presented in something that allows people to present what they're trying to produce. Theaters work great for this.
I was unaware of all the work that goes into making a show like this.
Yes.
I'm definitely going with it. I like to engage the audience, so that's my job basically with the Irish Comedy Tour and Damon's job. We have to engage the audience and get them clapping. And I like to have a bit of banter back and forth. But the difference between doing it in a theatre is everybody can hear me speak, but when one person speaks from the audience, only 3 or 4 people around her or him can hear them speak. So you got to repeat what they say in the microphone so everybody can hear it, and then you can answer the question. But I love the theatre, don't get me wrong, it's a lot easier, I think, to play in a theatre. Because you can just go off stage and just chill in the green room, and when your 35 minutes is up, you come back on and do your 15 minutes or whatever. In a bar, you're on for an hour, and you're giving it all, but people are all around you. So, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, you know. I mean, I like the bars, I like the intimacy of the bars, I like the theatres. And it's a little bit harder to make it more intimate in a theatre than it is in a bar because they're right on top of you. I mean, sometimes they're falling on top of you, you know. But in theatre, you've got that little security boundary, which I do like.
When I talk on stage about having cancer and then I pitch the book that I wrote and people come out and they buy the book, to me, buying the book to me is the most personal thing that somebody can do. I mean, getting t-shirts and stuff like that is, you know, fantastic. But for somebody that wants to come and read your story and hear what you went through, and because everybody knows somebody that went through cancer or they're going through it themselves. And this lady in particular in Janesville that came up and was telling me about her cancer story. Every once in a while, you'll hear people that do come up and they want to talk about it because it's different when you're talking about having cancer with somebody that has not had it. The conversation you have with the person that has had cancer is completely different because you can relate, and it's really a cool. Engaging moment with the audience or with an audience member to think that you can resonate, that you can hit that strong with somebody where they'll not only buy your book, but then they want to talk to you about what they had and what you had. And I think it's very, how can I put this? It's just very gratifying to see somebody, you know, you see some little glimmer of, you know, light, you know, in their face. You know, I've seen people come up to me that have, you know, that are wearing the little skull caps because they had chemotherapy and their hair fell out. And, you know, I think some of the most positive people that I've ever run into in my life are people that have had cancer. And to see them come up afterwards and talk, and it makes me feel good, and I'm glad that I, you know, was able to, you know, make them laugh and take their mind off of what they're going through. I should really call it the "Where the fuck are we going" tour. We're driving along and I'm typing stuff into GPS, and I mean the GPS is coming back going, I got nothing. We're driving into Mineral Point, Wisconsin, coming in from Red Wing, Minnesota, and we were shoelacing back and forth across. It was like every day was like a 3-hour drive at least. And you just got to take the routing the way it happens. I mean, you know, the agent tries to book things where it ends up making sense, but sometimes, you know, it's a little bit out of the way. But we're going down these roads that were, I mean, it was dirt roads, single lane roads, and it was kind of snowy. It was icy. I mean, it's these 2-lane dirt roads. I'm like, if this van goes in the ditch, we're fucked. Who the fuck is going to come to this show? I mean, we are in the middle of nowhere. The fact that there was an opera house there blew me away.
I'm on all the dating apps. Do we have single people here? Yes? No? Single? Yeah? Wow. One person in the back. Yeah. Nobody in town likes me. This is the town, right? This is all of you. You've all come out. We closed the post office early. We came out to see the show. One person, are you on a dating app? Do you have dating apps here? It's just Facebook, right? It's like, I know everybody. There's a new dating app in Ireland. It's called Plenty of Sheep, and it's great. I love it. It's weird what you get offended by and what you don't. Oh. Plenty of sheep. I'm skipping the dating app stuff. I'm skipping all of it.
The best part of this tour is being able to fuck around and ball bust with each other. That's what the Irish do. You know, I think as performers, comedians, we do it, but there's always that element of when you're working as a comedian with just another comedian, who's not part of this tour. It's just a different energy. If you don't know the person well enough, if you're not good friends with them. I mean, the fact that I've known, Mike Malone for probably 20 years, and I've known Derek and Damon for, probably 13 years apiece. We just have such a great relationship and camaraderie, and no one. If you got thin skin and you're on this tour, you better figure shit out. Buy some Kevlar, get a suit of armor, get some chainmail, whatever shit you got to get, but you better toughen up because it's going to get brutal.
I also wrote a book, so if I can look. Got to. Fucking leave me alone! I'm trying to make a living out here. Anyways, it's a great book.
So it's great to be able to go out there and bust each other's balls, on stage like we do. And I think the crowd gets that energy. They get the camaraderie. They get the fact that we're friends.
We had a great time. Thank you so much for having us. How about one last time? Give it up all the way from Nova Scotia on the fiddle, Mr. Damon Lyra. All the way from Los Angeles, California, give it up for Mike Malone. And last but by no means least, the founding father of this fucking monkey show, all the way from Detroit, Rock City in Michigan, give it up for Mr. Derek Richards.
Just having my morning jog. I do this every morning. It's all about having a good morning routine. It's a workout.
Such nice sounds.
Weevils wobble, but they don't fall. That really hurt.
So I think we're fine.
You get down to Florida, what's the first thing that's going through your head?
Outdoor tiki bar. Couple of cold beers in the sunshine, put on a swimsuit, sit by the pool and just chill my white Irish ass off.
You know, and even in Largo too, and then of course here in Port Charlotte, we've had older audiences. What's your reaction to playing with that kind of a crowd?
I love it. They have a deeper sense of humour, I think, than the younger crowd. Not any better, not any worse, but definitely a deeper sense of humour. They've been around more, so they get what we're saying. They're great crack, and a lot of them are from up north anyway, so they know what it's like, in the big cities. Great people, they're able to take a joke, they don't have chips on their shoulders, they just like to laugh and have fun, and that's all they did. And everyone was coming up to us after the show. Oh, we laughed. Oh, did we fucking laugh? We laughed, and they just had a great time,
They warned us, they said you were going to be a rough crowd. You look fine to me. Where's all the single women in the house? Any single women here? Oh, fuck. I don't care if you're 77, sweetheart, you'll do. Come here. And the snow, they never know. No, they never know. When I play the wild over, no, never. Any Catholics here? Where's all my Irish Catholics? I went to confession last week. I said, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 3 days since my last confession. What are your sins, my son? Well, I says, Father, I think I might be banned from heaven. He says, why do you think you're banned from heaven? Well, Father, I was having sex with a wife. Surely I'm banned from heaven. You should not be silly. Of course you're not banned from heaven. You can't be banned from heaven for having sex with your wife. That's the most beautiful, natural thing in the world. You're not banned from heaven. Are you sure, Father? I said. He said, of course I am. Don't be so silly. You're not banned from heaven. Well, I said, Father, it was like this. She was bending over the fridge, trying to get some chicken wings out. And I couldn't resist, and I came behind her, and, one thing led to the other. Anyway, are you sure I'm not banned from heaven? Of course you're not banned from heaven. Why do you keep asking? Because I'm banned from Publix. I've been away from an easy year. How they spent all my money on whiskey and beer.
Well, the older generations are used to going out to seeing shows, and they're used to going to theatres and clubs and things like that to watch comics and music and whatever they do. Younger generations, they have it all at the palm of their hand. So they have instant gratification. That's the difference. The older people like to go, and they dress up, and they still do it like they did it in the 20s and the 30s. People dress up to go out and have fun. The younger generation show up in shorts and t-shirts, tattooed fuckwits, Well, I mean, they still enjoy it. They still love the show and the whole combination of what we do. But the older people enjoy it better. They make a bigger deal out of it, I think.
It's usually the people at the show that make the show memorable, whether it's a single person or the whole audience collectively. So the memorable things are the people that come out to see us, who we appreciate very much. Without them, well, I don't know what we'd be doing. Maybe sitting in front of a camera just talking about what we do. But why would we do that?
It's okay, we don't need a hand. Got it. You just hold that. Steady.
You guys have been busy.
Yeah, it's been a crazy busy year. We just came back down from, we're up in Wisconsin and Minnesota, just got off the...
I thought you said you were trying to stay away from the cold.
That's not possible.
No.
There's a lot of Irish people where it's really cold. And, the Northeast, the Midwest. So, yeah, we were up in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, Jersey, and then went over to Wisconsin and Minnesota. So we just got on the back end of that storm.
Wow.
And we flew out of there and then into Tampa. So, yeah, so it was cool. It's a good time.
You're talking. He's just making noise.
He's just making noise over there.
I'm sorry.
Bodily function. He makes noises all the time.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, you look more sober than you did last time I saw you.
Don't ever say that to me again. I have an image to uphold here, big guy.
So what else is going on? You've been all over the place. The Irish Comedy Tour, it's been a huge success. You've been doing this now, 15 years, right?
Yeah, since 2006.
Yeah.
And so it's great because we've got our new guy, Mike Malone, who's on the tour with us, and now we're actually doing a documentary of this past tour. We've been seeing a lot of the highlights popping up on our social media feeds. Some of the clips that we're capturing. Mike's just doing a brilliant job. He's been doing a lot of independent film work and shooting comedy specials and that.
That is a nice little rig he's got.
That is a really nice rig that he's got there.
Oh, thanks. That's what she said.
That was so easy.
Yeah, nice little rig.
Right over.
That's what I said. Little rig.
Yes, it says small rig right there. Exactly. That's an Irish camera. Very small lens. Very small lens.
So, if I understand you correctly, what you're asking is what happens when the tour ends. And I didn't realize the tour was ending. This is a little bit disappointing. A little bit like when I sold Christmas trees. I didn't realize that there was a job that would end after Christmas. As much as I'm good as foresight, this is a little disturbing. And I think... Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'll be fine. I'm growing oysters. Maybe a touch more. Split the difference? Yeah. Just back to where we were the... When the tour ends, I go back to my other life, which is running a theater. I have a small oyster farm, hands in a few other things. I have a house with land that I'm chopping firewood and stuff. So I'm physically active, which helps burn off the road fat. And I'm looking forward to seeing my wife. I think what she said the other day when she said she took out a lot of money from savings and bought another house that was easier to manage, so she didn't have to stack the firewood and shovel all the heavy snow. I think she was kidding. I hope when the tour is over, she's still there with me. She's been with me just as long as the comedy tour, so she knew what she was getting into. She is the hardest job on the tour, though. I'm also the only guy that's married. Currently.
I'm not even going to go home first. I'm going to stop at my local bar. Not even going to unpack. I'm going to get out of the car with the clothes I get into it. I'm going to walk into my local pub. I'm going to see all my smelly Irish friends, and I'm going to have a bit of a session with them, a couple of beers, and I'll worry about packing the next day. Then I'll chill. I don't know what the word is. I was going to say decompress, but that happened years ago. Oh no, that's decompose. Decompress, I was right the first time.
Decompose.
I'm going to decompose. Any much more than I already fucking well have.
I mean, it was just the four of us, a couple of buddies of yours, and we just. I don't remember this happening, but I believe it was.
The phone charger here? Is it here?
It's over there.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, that one.
Oh, it's going to be a whole set of different issues now when I meet my fucking psychiatrist. Mother's out the window. We got to deal with this one. Good shite. Well, I'm not hungry anymore. But funny, I feel horny.
It's done. Go. Just leave. It's over. See you next time. Or not. Is that it? Guess we're done now.